Spartan fans ready for their 2021 home opener against Youngstown State, following a pretty big win, some would say, over Northwestern to begin this season. Welcome back to Big Ten Tailgate. I am joined by a man who really doesn't need any introduction, men's basketball coach, Tom Izzo. Coach, we were talking before we came on air. I don't know if you know this, but you could be the most popular man here in East Lansing. How do you feel about that?
It's got its goods and it's got its bads.
And, you know, you grew up here in the Mitten State. There's a lot of pride associated with being a Michigan State Spartan. So how would you define what a Michigan State Spartan is?
Well, I think he's a blue-collar person. This campus is second to none, if you ask me, because everything's all enclosed. But we are part of the Mitten State, but, I'm on the high part of it, up in the UP, where...
So you can't point to it on your hand.
No, I'm in God's area code up here, But, it's been a long run for me, and it's been a very good run, and I love the state. I love Michigan State.
Coach, we heard you guys took a little bit of a field trip not too long ago. You headed out to the lake for some bonding. Can you please tell us what that was like?
Well, we try to go out to my cottage now that the rules have loosened up a little bit compared to maybe when you played. And so we took our team out there. We have our last workout of the year out on the sand, and Gabe Brown, my senior, says, Coach, when are we going to stay overnight? So I had 29 guys at my cottage overnight. So that was enlightening, I can tell you that. But we did a lot.
Coach, why aren't you out there flexing the muscles on the boat? What's going on? I'm not seeing you in any of this.
Yeah, visual pollution. You don't want to get your body out there in front of people. So, but I had a good time. I was out on the boat. I was, I didn't get out on the rafts with them because if I pushed them off, they'd be all mad at me. So I got a season to win.
I was going to ask you if you were on the tubes out there, but you said no. So you answered my question right there. We know outside of basketball, you're a huge football fan. So as you kind of reflect upon all the years that you've been able to take in some solid Michigan State football at this beautiful stadium behind us, is there one player that you so enjoyed watching in comparison to others?
God, I enjoyed watching a lot of them, but I'd have to maybe pick back in the day Matt Trannon, because he went from the football team leading us. He was the leading receiver for a lot of years, and then he came and started in the basketball team on a Final Four team. So Matt is still a guy that but there's so many of those guys I'm close to. I do love football, and Coach D and I had some incredible runs, including in 15 when we both got to the Final Four of football and basketball. That hasn't happened very often. I think Coach Tuck, we're going to get back to that day. I got to do my part. He's got to do his part.
Sticking with football, Coach, what player that you have ever coached on the basketball court would have the most success on the football field, and we know it ain't Draymond?
No, Draymond thinks it's him, and he's over there right now, and he's probably going to beat me up when I go back. But it wasn't Draymond. I think the guy that would have the most success in football was a combination, either Gary Harris, who was recruited big time as a receiver, and he was a great player, but Mateen Cleaves had the toughness.
Yep.
He was a football player. He was recruited. He was down to, I think, Florida State in football. So Mateen would have probably been a hell of a football player.
Love that. And Draymond Green, don't come beat us up. Don't come beat your coach up.
I just asked the question.
Yeah, it's all good here. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. We look forward to basketball season, as always. As I said, I went to Michigan, and I hated playing you, so we look forword to this upcoming season. We appreciate it.
I just want to say hello to my former paisan, Donardo, back in the studio. He's chicken now to come out in public.
Morgan in trouble. Stripped. Loose. Picked up. Ohio State's got it.
Zach Harrison around the edge. Beautiful strip sack.
Pleased to be chilling here with my guy, Zach Harrison, the outstanding defensive lineman for the Ohio State Buckeyes. And he promised me he was going to take me through the art of the sack. But before we do that, kind of want to catch up with him, get to know him a little bit. Now, we know a little bit about you on the field, obviously. Look at this humongous man, can get after the quarterback. But people want to know about you as a person. You're a guy like myself who's from Central Ohio. What's it been like playing in front of a hometown crowd?
It's really been a dream come true, growing up in Columbus, watching guys like you on the TV every Saturday, with my scarlet and gray on, going to school, everybody wearing their Buckeye jerseys, Buckeye book bags, Buckeye lunch boxes. It's really surreal.
What's your favorite place to go to eat, on or off campus?
Oh, I like pizza.
Okay.
So like really any pizza spot, I'm there. I'm with all that.
What's your favorite pizza? What toppings are you gonna throw on?
You ever been to Mod Pizza? It's like a Subway kind of place. I'm getting pepperoni, sausage, bacon. I'm getting pineapples on it, and I'm getting ranch and barbecue drizzle on top.
Is this Mickey Marotti approved, or is this a cheat meal?
This is Zach Harrison approved. this is my taste buds approved.
So back to football. From the start of this year to the end of this year, what is the biggest thing that you want to see change in your game?
I can improve in every aspect of my game, and that's something that I'm excited about, to really come out here in the practice field and just work on. Then, like, every day I got to get 1% better, and you do that every day, you just end up pretty good.
So you're going to show me now some of these drills that you do to get 1% better every day.
Coach Jay always said if you defeat the hand, you defeat the man. And, you know, when we started off, we learned this as a freshman, the little 3-count wheel. So you start off, put your hand right there, and you start off, take your right hand, inside hand, and you lay it down right there. So you come back. And when you lay it down, try and push back on it. You can't go anywhere because it's locked. And then after that, the second step to it is the elbow, the cup. This right here is what really...
You're grabbing that elbow.
Right here. This is what here forces the shoulders to turn. And then right here is how the next guy goes, set the drill up. Off that, we can learn the wheel. So this is for, you rush past the quarterback and you get rushing high off the quarterback and he stepped up in the pocket to get back on your lane. You take the same end over, lay right there. So you just bring this other hand around, and that's how you get back into the quarterback's face.
No, it's really awesome to kind of get in the mindset of a pass rusher. It's one of those skills that we watch and we marvel because so few guys can do it at an elite level. You're one of those guys that we're really looking out for, and we appreciate your time today.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Speaking of, last week, new athletic director Alan Haller was in Evanston to watch the Spartans beat the Wildcats. So let's head inside the locker room following that big win.
Where's Alan Haller?
Hey!
Alan Haller, welcome. That video gave me chills. What was your reaction just watching that back?
That was such a cool lifetime experience. When I came in the locker room, I just thought I was going to hang out in the back and do the fight song from the back. And they called me up front, and the AD chant was incredible. What an awesome experience to be with the team. And they gave me a 20 jersey for being the 20th athletic director.
Yeah.
So that was an awesome experience.
We know you grew up here in Lansing. What was your reaction when you got the call saying you're the newest athletic director for Michigan State?
You know, I'm still kind of trying to come down to the ground because, I grew up in this community. I've been coming to this campus for 40 years. I used to come to this campus as a little kid going to art class in camp in the summertime. So, being the athletic director and working with our student athletes is literally my dream responsibility. I'm so excited to work with them, work with our staff, work with this great community to really bring the Spartan athletic program, make sure we're a valued member of the community, but make sure our student athletes have everything they need to succeed, everything. And that's what we're going to do as a staff.
You had an impressive football career, but as you sit here and take in your first home game as the athletic director, is there a game that pops up, your favorite game, the most memorable one?
As a staff member, the most memorable game is the Big Ten championship game when we beat Ohio State. And then Nikos Allen made the stop.
Oh, look at that right there.
Oh, no.
Oh, look at that right there.
That's crazy. As a player, my most memorable game is at Michigan. They were number 1 in the country, and we kind of went down there and beat them. 1990. So that, as a player, that's my most memorable experience. But this has been such a great opportunity.
Alan, with Mel Tucker taking over the helm of this Michigan State program and yourself being hired, Michigan State joins an exclusive group of FBS institutions that have a black AD and head coach. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. I mean, it's a great representation of our student athletes in terms of the makeup of our teams and our athletes on campus. But, historically, I think it means a lot. And, being the first African-American coach and head coach here at Michigan State. We're trailblazers, but it's more so about our community and about coming together and making sure people have the opportunity to be successful. So there's a lot of work to be done. We're excited about doing this. We're going to do it together as a community with Mel and all of our other head coaches and our staff and this great community. Go Green! I love being here. I love our fans. I love this energy. This is just a great community. So I'm just fired up to be their athletic director, work with them, and bring our community together to go out and help our student athletes be successful.
And I'm sure your daughter is very excited to have her father as the newest athletic director here.
Yeah, my daughter's a junior here at Michigan State. She's probably back there in the crowd somewhere, but she's excited. My daughter Allison, and she'll be right next to me doing all the work that I'm doing. And she kind of grew up in this industry, so she kind of knows what to expect.
Well, it's a family affair here at Michigan.
Coach, appreciate your time. I competed against Michigan State as a player and assistant coaches and a head coach, and I always came away from the game thinking how tough Michigan State team was. Watching you practice in the fall and watching a Northwestern game, I think you have brought it to a different level. How do you teach toughness?
Well, I believe it starts in the weight room. The toughness, the mental and physical toughness of your team starts there. That's where your team is built. The team chemistry, learning how to strain, learning how to compete, learning how to move people and how important that is. It starts there. And that's just part of our culture. We teach it based upon how we practice and the standards that we have, how physical our practices are. And we build our guys up and they embrace it, and then we take it to the game field.
If you were getting ready to play your own team, what would the scout report look like?
A team that plays hard, a team that plays complementary football, play a lot of guys on offense, a lot of guys on defense. A team that has the potential to make big plays, a team that's running the ball better, a team that has shown the ability to stop the run, and a team that can play really good defense if you can eliminate the explosive passes.
There's an old coaching saying that you make your most improvement from game 1 to game 2. Where do you look for the most improvement from the Northwestern game to the Youngstown State game?
Well, overall as a team, it's the attention to detail, and that's been our focus, extreme, relentless attention to detail. Offensively, we want to be able to connect on some of the balls down the field. We're going to have some opportunities to do that. Defensively, we want to eliminate the big play and generate some turnovers. And in special teams, we need to create some momentum plays, especially in the return game.
What were you most pleased about in the Northwestern game?
I was pleased with the way our team played with a level of unselfishness. You could tell that they were playing for each other. There was a lot of effort and enthusiasm, and we were in condition, so we were able to start fast and finish strong, and that's what we set out to do.
What's the best thing about playing in Spartan Stadium, home opener, being 1-0 in the conference?
There's no doubt about it. It's our fans. Be able to come home to our fans, our band, our cheer team, our dance team, Sparty. East Lansing is a football town. There's a passion, an enthusiasm for football here that's unmatched anywhere. That's the beauty and the opportunity that we have to come home and show what we've done this week, and that we can be a better version of what we saw last Friday night.
Well, good luck. Have a great game. And as always, we really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Coach.
Welcome back here to East Lansing as the Spartans getting ready to take on Youngstown State. We are back here on set, on turf, I should say. Annie Sabo, Brock Vereen, joined by former Michigan State football alum in David Dowell. David, I have to ask you, you have a brother who plays for the Saints. Your younger brother is currently playing for the Spartans. So are you going to be sitting in the stands today playing a little bit of coaching your brother out there?
Absolutely. I think that kind of happens like 24/7. He always is texting me about different things. Andrew, my twin brother, like you said, with the Saints, he's always texting me and talking. So it's nice for me to be, now that I've moved on from the game, to still be involved through them.
Awesome.
David, you played defensive back in the Big Ten. I've played defensive back in the Big Ten. And I'm sure you've noticed the talent pool right now at wide receiver is maybe as good as it has ever been. What skill set does a defensive back need right now to compete with these guys?
I think the biggest thing would be change of direction. I think one of the big things you see nowadays is guys aren't only fast and straight line speed, but they have a lot of lateral quickness and agility. So to be able to play the deep ball, have that recovery speed, but also be able to play the in-between game, short down and distances is really important to be able to get off the field on third down and things like that.
And growing up with two brothers, playing football, how competitive was it in your household?
So I've probably told this story a million times. So me and my twin brother specifically, we're no longer allowed to play one-on-one basketball. And that started in the driveway probably when we were like 5 or 6 years old. One of us would always end up crying. So I think it's a good thing to kind of bring that competitive nature out of us. But at the same time, my mom and dad would always have to kind of bring us down a little bit. But it was fun for sure.
No tears on set this afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us and have fun at the game.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Go Green.
There you go.
Dave, we had fun here in East Lansing. We're going to continue the Michigan tour next week. We're going to be outside the Big House in Ann Arbor, Michigan. We're looking forward to it, and we'll send it back to you guys. See you next week.